Hello and welcome to this live stream for Paramount IELTS. My name is Luke and I am a former IELTS examiner. Today we have two students in the stream at the moment. More may come along shortly. In this session, we are just going to go through some part 1, part 2 and part 3 speaking and give a bit of feedback to the students. So make sure that if you're listening in, think about some of the good things about their speaking, think about some of the things you think could be improved, and also think about how does your speaking compare. Do they make the same mistakes as you may be making? And that could be really helpful. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to share the presentation. Now remember, in these sessions, the students are able to see the speaking and the speaking questions. In a real test, they would not be able to see these see the questions. Okay, so here we have stream. And first up, let's take a look at the speaking part 1. So talking about clothes, and first up we have Tanshulpan. Hi, Tanshulpan.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Are you ready to talk a bit about clothes?
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. Let's talk about clothes. How important are clothes and fashion to you?
Clothes and fashion is very important for me. It's the way how I express myself. It also gives me confidence. Due to that, fashion is very important for me.
What kinds of clothes do you dislike?
I dislike office wears, especially formal outfits. I find them uncomfortable and also a bit of outdated.
Mm-hmm. How different are the clothes you wear today from the ones you wore 10 years ago?
It's quite different because previously all my clothes used to be bought by my mom, so I had a very little influence on my fashion style. However, nowadays, since I become an independent person, I purchase my clothes by myself, which
Okay. What do you think the clothes we wear say about us?
it does say a lot about people. Especially, it shows how neat is that person, how like the way how he express himself can be seen by clothes, but not in all the cases. But in majority of the cases, the clothes are very important to express the person's identity.
Okay, good. What do you think was good there, Tanshulpan?
Oh, okay. You mean for my speaking?
For your speaking. What do you think about your speaking? What do you do well?
Actually, I'm not so happy about it because maybe my mind is not fully focused on the questions itself. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so there were a couple of points there. It took you a little while to get going. Don't worry about that too much. That is very common in your test. What could we do before our IELTS test so that when we go in and we sit down, we are ready to start speaking rather than, preparing while we're answering the first few questions? What could we do?
I think the first thing is try to for me, like what I do, I usually whoever is waiting in the room for the IELTS speaking, I start communicating with them to work myself. So that's one of my tricks that I use. And secondly, the moment when I enter to the room, I usually greet the instructor. And also, when the first part, usually it's about yourself. So I usually try to think of or guess what could be the following questions.
Yeah, okay. Good. So yeah, it's really important if you have an opportunity to warm up before you go into your speaking test, you are going to be a lot more ready. As Tanchal Pan says, if there is anybody else around, she starts talking English to them. Really
Yes.
great advice. Also, if you usually think in your first language and translate to English, you need to start thinking in English as well.
Yeah. Actually, I have realized since few years, I start thinking in English now.
Uh-huh.
If I want to speak in my native language, it takes me a while to translate it from English to my native language.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That translation process
Yes.
slows down your speaking so much.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, and
very
also,
bad for grammar too.
yeah, true. One of my mistakes that I find myself is I try to impress the IELTS instructor instead of saying whatever comes to my mind sometimes.
Hmm.
So by the time I try to digest the information and like analyze it and start speaking out, it takes me a while. That's why I
Yeah,
sometimes hesitate with
yeah.
with my speaking.
Yes, it's a real balance between getting good vocabulary and speaking fluently. Speaking fluently is probably more important because bad
Yes.
fluency can affect pronunciation. So don't overcomplicate things. Um, if you have some really great ideas, then of course get them out. You should also have an idea of quite simple to use high level vocabulary that you can throw
Mm.
into your speaking, and that needs to be quite flexible as well. One of the problems with the higher level vocabulary is people spend a lot of time thinking about high level words to use. They don't use them very often, and it pulls the fluency down. Okay, good. A couple of thoughts there. The way how I express myself. The way how I express myself. The
Uh,
way
it's more like the way how I can express my identity.
the way that I express myself, or the way
Oh,
I express myself. So there's a couple of grammatical mistakes there.
oh,
Again, how neat is that person? So you can tell how neat is that person, how neat that person is.
oh, okay,
So
yeah, because I put it in question format.
yeah, exactly. So a couple of word order errors there, and one word choice error. And office wears.
Office
Office.
wear, I
Okay.
wanted to say,
Uncountable.
oh, okay, office
Okay.
wear only.
Okay. Well done, Tanchal Pan. Certainly not a bad start. So well done. Hi, everybody. We've got some people. You're welcome for doing the live session, and welcome to join us. Okay, thanks a lot, Tanchal Pan. We've got
Thank you.
Absar next. We'll have more
Yeah,
from you
thank
in a
you.
minute. You're welcome. Hi, Absar.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Yeah, really good, thanks. How about
Yeah,
you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, and where are you joining us from today, Absar?
I'm from Pakistan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So, are you ready to talk a bit about clothes?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, great. So let's talk about clothes. How important are clothes and fashion to you?
For me, clothes and fashion is really important because I go to the parties and the events with my best friends, and I have to choose the type of clothes that actually look good on me. So this is why it's really important to me. Um,
Mhm.
one of the men.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kinds of clothes do you dislike?
I just don't like the formal clothes. When I was doing my job in Karachi, I wasn't comfortable with wearing the formal clothes as the Karachi is really warm. Like the temperature there is really high, so I wasn't feeling
Okay, okay.
comfortable.
How different are the clothes you wore today from those you wore 10 years ago?
Can you rephrase the question again?
How different are the clothes you wore today from those you wore 10 years ago?
They were quite different. When I was a kid, I used to wear the the fancy clothes, but as I grew up and I went to the university, like I'm in the professional level right now, so I prefer wearing the clothes which actually make me look mature instead of people calling me that you're still wearing the clothes like kids. Like there are just
Okay. What do you think the clothes we wear say about us?
the clothes we wear say a lot about us. Like if we are wearing the fancy clothes, people would think that you are a cool person. But if you're wearing something professional, people will assume that you are having a job. So clothes do speak a lot about us.
Hmm. Okay, good. Well done, Absar. What do you think's good about your speaking?
I think the good thing about my speaking is my accent. Like I just don't sound like Pakistani at all. Like
Uh-huh.
whenever I talk to people from my country, they are like, how your accent is so different. I'm
Hmm.
like, it's because of watching Netflix, though, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. So quite a nice, easy to understand accent there. Brilliant. One of the things you do, you get that tongue forwards. Lots of people from where you are in the world, they pull the tongue back deep into their mouth. We don't do that so much in English. Okay, good. What do you think you need to improve?
I think I need to use more vocabulary, like the complicated words. When I was having my speaking test, I wasn't able to use the words like therefore or however.
Hmm.
The questions were just so easy. They were just asking me about ambition, and there was not much to talk about.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. With that kind of vocabulary in your speaking test, you probably won't be using words like therefore and however so much. They're more formal. Definitely in writing, you can use them in speaking, but I wouldn't go crazy trying to get them in. Okay. There there was some good vocabulary. So you're talking about now you're a bit more mature. The overall level could be a little bit higher though. So for example, one of the things you could try and do is use a little bit more natural idiom. Be really careful with idioms. We don't want to learn loads of really long, complicated phrases, but phrasal verbs are a great way to improve your vocabulary level. So have a look at some of those. Otherwise, in terms of grammar, do you know any grammatical mistakes you make?
I'm not sure, but did you notice any?
Okay, yeah. So articles at, an, or the. For example, when I went to the university, when I went to the university,
Yes.
when I went to university. Yeah, you're not talking there. You're talking more about the stage in life rather than the physical place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to that. There were a couple of others. So you were saying when someone wears the fancy clothes, the fancy clothes? No, the,
Yeah.
no, the, when someone wears fancy clothes. Yeah. So a couple of article errors there, but generally the grammar is quite good and very easy to understand. So well done. Good job, Abta.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We've got one more. We've got Sammy who is joining us as well. So let's take Absar off the stream. We'll have you back shortly. And we're going to move on to a new set of questions here. Bicycles. Hi, Sammy. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. Where are you joining us from today? Where are you coming
Just
from today?
just receive a link from the Facebook group and just join on streamheart.com. So
Uh-huh. And where in the world are you?
I'm from Pakistan.
Okay, wonderful. Right, we're going to be talking about bicycles. Do they use lots of bicycles in Pakistan?
Yes,
They
definitely,
do.
because of yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Good. Going to have lots to say then. Let's move on to talk about bicycles. How popular are bicycles in your hometown?
Well, they are most popular in my, especially in my hometown, because is really near in the countryside of Pakistan. So most of people are prefer to go a bicycle on, like in a park in the morning time, and sometimes so most of people some people go to office and
Okay.
on bicycle.
Okay. How often do you ride a bicycle?
Well, in my childhood, I really used to bicycle, but nowadays you know a little bit busy my stuff, and you need to hurry up to go. So that's why I not used a bicycle nowadays. But in a weekend, I used a bicycle on my park and for my exercise.
Hmm. Do you think bicycles are suitable for all ages?
Yes, definitely, because of that we have nowadays people are more like to eating junk foods and pizza, burgers. So that's why a little bit fat and need to exercise. So that's best way to uh, uh, improve your health. The bicycle is definitely very helpful for all ages, not even children, even in an
Okay.
old age.
Okay. What are the advantages of a bicycle compared to a car?
Uh, well, there are a lot of numerous advantages of the using a bicycle, like pollutions, like healthcare that I mentioned before, and other things that bicycle is very convenient for everyone. No need to have very expensive price to get it.
Okay, good. Well done, Sammy. Sammy, what do you think is best about your speaking?
Well, I'm not sure exactly because I'm not a good speaker of English, but I'm trying to best my improve my English, because English is not our native language.
Hmm.
So I'm just learning on a way of learning of English, you
Yeah.
can say.
Okay, so you say you're not a good speaker of English. You are certainly not a bad speaker of English. So don't be so hard on yourself, Sammy. Really,
Yeah.
really, really good job, especially first time on the stream joining us.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. The pronunciation at times is a little bit difficult to understand. You kind of eat your words a lot. As I was saying with Absar, very common for people where you come from, the tongue is really far back in the mouth, and that
Mm-hmm.
can reduce the clarity. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Okay. So I will continue giving the feedback, even though Sammy is on the stream. He needs to get his tongue forward a little bit more for a bit more clarity. You're back. Hi. Hi.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. Internet problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
no
back.
problem. You also said you've got a few errors with prepositions. Most of people ride bicycle. Most people, yeah. No
Most
of,
people.
yeah. Okay, so be a bit careful of that. A
Okay.
couple of times you slightly the grammar gets a little bit messy. For example, you were talking about going to work, and you said, "I need to hurry up to go." Yeah, to go where?
Yeah.
I need to hurry up to go to work. So
Sure.
make sure you're finishing the sentence properly. Okay, a couple of those. Another thing that you do, again, Absar made a really good point about. I think it was Absar made a really good point about trying to, or Tanshulpan actually made a point about trying too hard in the test. A couple of times you say a lot of numerous, yeah, and then you keep talking. So you stop, you take out a word that was correct, perfectly fine. You
Mm-hmm.
stop, go back and replace it with one that you think is better.
Yeah.
Okay. So just focus a bit on fluency, because that will pull it down slightly. Okay.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you are, getting the words out, not too much going back and correcting, because it wasn't necessary for you to make that change. Okay, so again, like Tanshul Pan said, sometimes focused a bit too much on the criteria. What we really want to do in speaking is get into the flow and just speak very nicely and naturally. Okay, a couple of other things. So you said nowadays people are a little bit fat, need to exercise. A little bit fat, need to exercise. What's missing?
Little bit exercise.
So they, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so a couple of missing conjunctions. People are a little bit fat, so they need to exercise. So again, a few things with the grammar there. But overall, well done. Good, especially first time appearing on the stream. So thanks a lot for joining us, Sammy. Okay, and we will have you back shortly. Okay, good. Well done. Next up, we have Thilan. Hi, Thilan.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Luke. How about you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. Can you just tell everybody who may not know where you're joining us from?
I'm joining now from from Copenhagen, Denmark. But originally I'm from Nepal.
Fantastic. And what is the weather like in Copenhagen today?
Actually, today, yeah, it's a good weather today, because yesterday it was like really kind of foggy. It was very cold winter these days in Denmark, especially in Copenhagen and the area. But today it's like sunshine. Today the weather is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, good. Copenhagen, very famous for its green initiatives and the attempts to reduce emissions and pollution. So let's see what Thilan is going to tell us about bicycles. So Thilan, let's talk about bicycles. How popular are bicycles in your hometown?
Well, in back home in my hometown, back home in Nepal, before like 20 years ago, it was very much popular. The bicycle, most of the people, they used to ride bicycle. But these days, or eventually after the income of the people, it start to grow. People are like more into other luxurious vehicles like motorbikes, car, and other luxurious vehicles. But these days we can rarely see that people ride bicycles in my hometown.
Okay. How often do you ride a bicycle?
Well, when I was kid, I used to ride a lot. But when I started to grow up, when I was adult, after that, I was like, I just bought a motorbike. My parents bought it for me.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. Do you think bicycles are suitable for all ages?
Yeah, definitely. I think yes, it is very suitable, because it is very healthy for the person who ride the bicycle, and also for the even for the old ages people. If they ride a bicycle, it helps to increase their stamina for the all age group of people as well.
Okay. What are the advantages of a bicycle compared to a car?
Yeah, like I said, that it is very healthy as compared to car, because when you ride a bicycle, it helps to increase your stamina. It helps to build up the refreshment and within yourself, and along with it,
Okay, good. What do you think is good about your speaking, Thilan?
Well, I think like I really don't know actually.
Okay.
I think I can speak a bit, but the thing is, the main problem with my speaking, I guess, is I couldn't think about the topic instantly, like I said yesterday, our colleague, just like her.
Yeah, so that is, absolutely. That is a practice thing, and practicing as many different topics as you can. So these transport topics, bicycles are such a brilliant thing to talk about for transport, because as people have said, they have health benefits. You can talk about pollution when you're talking about bicycles. So bicycles as a topic unlock a huge amount of quite easy to use and very flexible vocabulary related to health, related to the environment. There is a lot to say. Okay, you're getting some of it out. So you're talking about stamina, quite high level vocabulary there, describing the ability to continue doing work without stopping. As you say, one of the issues that you're having is, I think, with ideas, what you do is you say something really quickly, then you stop. And then you think a bit, then you say the next thing really quickly, then you stop.
Okay.
You need to be a bit more measured, a bit more paced, giving yourself time to think. Because the effect it has, there's two things. It affects the fluency because you've got hesitations and pauses, but it also affects the pronunciation because the way that you're grouping the words is not entirely natural. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to pause in the right places. It's okay to pause. What we don't want to do is, bicycles are really popular in my hometown or something like that. Bicycles are really popular in my hometown. Yeah. So a bit more measured and paced. And part of that is about practicing and making sure your vocabulary is ready to go. Okay, for the fluency. A couple of other things there. Very much popular. Bicycles are very much popular.
I guess it's just very popular.
There we go. So drop out that much there. Yeah. You've got a few errors with plurals as well. So when I was younger, people used to ride bicycle. One bicycle. People.
Bicycles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are lots of advantages of bicycle as compared to car. One bicycle, one car.
No, it's
again bicycles.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So get those plurals in there, and it's very healthy as compared to cars. It's very don't need the as. Very healthy compared to cars or driving. Yeah. So you don't need the as there, but otherwise, overall, good. Well done. Good effort. Just a couple of things with the grammar. Another one. When I started, grew up. When I started, grew up, or when I started to grow up. When I started to grow.
When it started to grow.
Started to grow up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need the past tense there because it's an infinitive, to grow. You've already got the past tense with started. Okay.
Okay, look, thank you so much. And about my you mean I need to keep on practicing and
absolutely, as many different topics as you can doing that. So the problem that people have when they don't practice enough and they don't speak in English enough or they don't think in English, all of their vocabulary is very, very deep in their memory. Yeah, all of the things that they remember. And when it's very deep in your memory, when you want to use a word, you have to go and look for it. It's a bit like in a library when you're doing an essay. All of your vocabulary deep in your memory is like the books on the shelves. Yeah. The books that you're using to write your essay, they're the ones on the desk. So if you want a book that you use frequently, you have it on your desk. It's very easy to refer to it. If you need a book you use less frequently, you have to go through the library and find it on the shelves, and that takes time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about having a variety of vocabulary in your active memory ready to go so you don't have to go and find it. Yeah, and that is a case of practice to bring it from the deep passive memory to the active memory a bit closer, ready to speak. Okay.
Thank you so much for the feedback, Luke.
You're welcome. Okay, really good, guys. So let's move on. One of the things that I would talk about here, I would have a really good set of health vocabulary ready to go. That is a brilliant topic for your IELTS test. So learn some things about health. What are the advantages of bicycle compared to a car? You could definitely give some quite high level discussion about health. Another big IELTS topic, the environment and air pollution. And that also links to health. So there is quite a lot of stuff that you could talk about here for a very high level speaking set. Right, so anyway, moving on. We have a speaking part 2, and as people may start to identify, this ties in a little bit to our topic that we had yesterday. Those videos are on our channel on YouTube, so if you want to find out a bit more about old people and some of the problems they face, go and check out those videos. Describe a birthday party that you enjoyed. So talking about birthdays here. I'm going to give our speakers a minute to prepare this topic, and then we will have them. Not loads of feedback on this because I'd quite like to move on to the part 3, but we will listen to their speaking so they have a nice sample to go back and listen to and evaluate to check their speaking. So guys, take a minute. All 3 of you are going to do this. So take a minute to prepare it. And then speaking for 1 to 2 minutes. While they're preparing that, let's just read through this topic card together. So describe a birthday party that you enjoyed. You should say whose party it was. It could be yours. It could be someone else's, for example, a friend or a family member. Where the party was and who went to it. That is going to be a really good opportunity to develop. You could tell a story. How did you get there? Yeah, that would fit in very nicely with where. Who went to it? People you know, people you don't know, people you like, people you don't like. Maybe talking about some of the conversations. What people did during the party. Plenty of opportunity to talk about party activities or games. And what you enjoyed about this birthday party. Why did you like it? Connect it to the people and the activities. So there is quite a lot to say for this topic. And as we can see, somebody has a lovely chocolate birthday cake at the top there, some very colourful balloons and a banner wishing someone a happy birthday. Right, so that is 1 minute for our speakers to prepare. First up, let's have Absar. Hi, Absar.
Hey,
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing. What about you?
Yeah, good. Are you ready to do this part 2?
Yes.
Okay, your connection is dropping out a little bit. Let's try and see how we do. Okay, so remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. Yeah, sure. There was once a party, and there was my birthday. I went to. Hold on, can I start again?
Mm-hmm.
Can I start again?
You're on the clock.
Okay. There was a time I went to this birthday party. It was organized by. It was of my best friend. We went to a restaurant. It was like one of the pizza restaurant in our town, and my best friend told me that we shouldn't be organizing the party as she was growing older, but I think the birthdays are not related with how old you are. It's more like a celebration. We have to like there that she like I just don't know what to say, honestly.
Is there anything more you'd like to say about this?
Yes, actually, I'm not able to see the. Okay, so I will
Absar,
start again. Okay. There was a time when I went to this birthday party. Uh, I was organized it. My friend told me that we shouldn't be having a birthday party as there was an incident that recently happened in her house. Her father died and she was not happy about it.
Okay. That's 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes. Absar, make sure that you prepare these. Yeah. So do make sure you prepare. If you're in your real test and you say, is it okay if I start again? The examiner will just nod and they will keep an eye on the clock and just run down the 2 minutes. Once you start talking,
Yep.
you cannot go back. The time is then ticking. Okay. So just make sure that you're preparing these topics properly. I think you've got a bit of a connection problem there as well. So it's not very clear for us. And that might be causing you some difficulties. Okay, just be aware, once they say, can you start talking now, please? Or can you start speaking now, please? You then have 2 minutes. You can start again if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. Just make sure that you try and keep going. Okay. Okay. And I think Absar's having some connection problems. Okay, next up we have Tanchulpan. Just give me 1 second. My pen is dead, but I don't think I can fix it. So I'm just going to have to scratch onto the paper some notes. Oh, Tanchulpan has disappeared. So Thilan. Hi, Thilan. Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, Luke. Thank you.
Good. You ready to do this part 2?
Oh, yes, Luke. I'm ready for it.
Okay, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Yeah. There was a party which I enjoyed a most. It was my friend's party. He was the friend from my school. It was his 18th birthday party, and the party was held in the terrace of his house. It was in the month of June, where the weather was so nice and it was sunny all day. So we just planned to do it on the top of the terrace, where we can have this breeze of the wind. So it would be nice for everyone, and also most of the group of the friends can be occupied in this terrace, as it has more space. And most of his new friends from his colleges and the old friends from his school time were in that party. And during the party, people were just dancing, and they were enjoying the drinks, of course, and they were also playing some uh, kind of games that is related with the birthday thing. And the most thing that I like about this party is the song that it was played by the DJ at his party, and of course the drinks. It was really very nice, which was prepared by his sister, who was also learning the bartender at that period of time. And the most important thing is, like, I got opportunity to meet my old friend from my school, which I have never met in around 5 years of time. So this is the party that I like the most, and it's still in my mind till now.
Okay, that's 2 minutes. Okay, how does it feel?
I think it was pretty good than my part one speaking. I guess I'm not sure, but
2 minutes, long time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a kind of long time, yeah, to keep on.
It is quite a long time. Right, I'm going to try and read my scratchings. My pen is completely dead, so I have scratched into the paper some notes. Okay, the first thing I would say is the grammar. What's the issue with the grammar?
I guess it's I have a lot. I guess I did a lot of mistake with the grammar.
It's not the mistakes, it's the complexity.
Yeah.
So you're giving lots of really, really simple sentences, especially at the beginning. Yeah. So it makes sense and it's easy to understand. It's not usually wrong. There are a few mistakes, but the most serious thing that you need to fix there. So I'm going to talk about a birthday party. It was my friend's birthday party. It was his 18th birthday party. It was held on a terrace. Yeah.
Yeah.
The overall level of the grammar, especially at the beginning, needs to be a bit higher. Okay.
Yeah.
So focus on that, work on complexity. I'm going to talk about a birthday party, which was actually my friend's 18th birthday party. And I remember that we held it on a terrace. Yeah. So those three bits of information put together into one sentence is much, much higher level grammar. Okay.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to that. There is a real mix and it tends to be a bit more on the simple side. One of the big questions that I've got for you is about these games. You said some kinds of games associated or related to birthday parties. What are the games?
Actually, the game was about like we were sitting around and we were just flipping the bottles.
Uh-huh.
And just whoever got this, whoever got in the point of the bottle's tip, then he have to. It's kind of dare or truth game.
Truth or dare. Spin the bottle.
Yeah.
Spin the bottle.
Right.
It's a game of truth or dare. Okay, there you go. Make sure that you get a few bits of vocabulary for indoor games, party games, things like that, because it is something that you can be asked about. Yeah. So, for example, board games are a good one. I personally quite enjoy playing chess. So for me, I would talk about not a party, obviously. That is a different set of vocabulary. Just make sure you've got some of that. Okay,
so
well done.
It would be nice that if I mention the specific games rather than just saying some games.
Yeah, absolutely. These drinks as well. You said there were some drinks and they were really very nice. Yeah, I think you said your sister-in-law was making them.
No, his sister.
His sister was okay. His sister was making them, unless you get married. Yeah, okay. His sister was making them. Yeah, tell us a bit more about the drinks. What was special about them? What was so good? Yeah, so give a little bit more detail to fill out your story and show them your range of vocabulary. Okay. Okay, well done, Thilan. Otherwise, keep going for 2 minutes. It's a very long time to speak. And with practice, certainly this becomes a lot easier. Well done. Okay, next up we have Tanshulpan, and then we will look at the part 3s. Hi, Tanshulpan.
Hi, Luke. Sorry for the previous technical issue. I'm back again.
Fine. Brilliant to have you back. Okay. I wondered if you were running away from the part 2.
No.
We'll have Tanshulpan for the part 2 and she's gone. Okay. All right, Tanshulpan. So remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay, sure. The birthday party that I was invited a couple of years ago, it was my classmate's birthday. She was turning 21. It was held in a park. Since it was a surprise party, nobody knew that she was going to receive a cake. All of our friends, we had to pretend that we forgot about her birthday for the whole day, and she was really disappointed at that point of time. And on top of that, we have called some people to scare her off, and it was very dark and she was running around, and it was a really ridiculously funny story to remember. What exactly we did was, since it was a surprise party, we pretended that all of us are going to disappoint her throughout the day, give her one obstacle after another, and on top of that, the cherry on top of the cake, I would say, or what you call that. So basically, what we had is, there was a dog that started chasing everyone inside the park, and it was very dark at night, and it was really like something that it was the worst remembering. And also, her fiance at that time, who is a husband now, he came up at the end after 12 a.m. with a cake on his hand, and we all celebrated it together with our friends and classmates. And it was a really memorable one, since a long period of time that since then I have not attended any birthday parties that I can recall with a unique story or event.
Okay, that's 2 minutes. Okay, good. Well done. Good. So a couple of points there, if I can read this. A birthday party I was invited.
Yes, I
was invited to.
I was invited to the birthday party.
Okay, a birthday party that I was invited to.
Oh, okay.
You need the two on the end there, yeah?
Okay.
In writing, you would make it a lot more formal. In speaking, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It was held in a park. All of our friends, we had to pretend.
Yes, we had to pretend to.
All of our friends had to pretend.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
you don't. You don't
all
need
of us.
we. All of our
Okay.
friends pretended or had
Oh,
to
I see.
pretend. You don't need we. You've already got the subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay. And you dropped in a little bit of an idiom there. The cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could say
How to say it correctly?
the icing on the cake.
You call it icing. Okay.
Or I would say the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top was something.
Okay.
The way it was used, remember, so for this high level vocabulary, if you read those lexical resource descriptors, it says things like awareness of style, flexibility, things like that. It didn't feel so flexible. It sounded a bit forced. Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to get it really nice and natural sounding for them to really count.
Okay.
But okay, well done. Good trying to get it in there. Just
you.
needs to sound a bit more natural.
Okay.
And sorry, I'm really trying to, I've just sort of scratched this into some paper. Yeah, overall, kept going for 2 minutes. There are a few things there, and also remember practicing as much as you can to get some of the vocabulary into the active memory. It's going to reduce some of those pauses.
Okay.
Yeah. So where you're getting to the end of a sentence and saying or that is a practice thing. The more you practice lots of different topics, the easier that will become. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well done, Tan Shulpan. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. So we have a couple of speaking part threes. We're coming up to the end of. We've got about 12 minutes, so I'm going to try and do these part threes in about 4 minutes per speaker. We're starting off with this part three here about birthdays. Hi, Absar, are you there?
Hey.
I think you're muted. Yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm doing
okay,
great.
good.
Actually, I'm having.
Yeah, there's a bit of a connection issue. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? That's the other question.
No, it's
Absar, we can't
anyways,
really.
I can see now.
Okay, there we go. Absar,
Can
let's
you
talk
hear?
about birth. Yes. Let's talk about birthdays. Why do you think some people like to celebrate their birthdays while others do not?
There are some people who like to celebrate their birthday even though they are growing older. Like in our country, people who are mature, they think that it's a childish thing to do. But I think we should be celebrating birthday as it's representing us, like we are still alive while others are not. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's important for people to celebrate their birthdays?
I think it's really important for people to celebrate their birthday, because there are so many people who have died due to the coronavirus, but there are still people who who are alive, and to celebrate their birthday, they are showing their they still have a lot of things to do in their life, as
Mm-hmm.
they are healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned coronavirus there. What impact has coronavirus had on parties like birthday parties, for example?
It has got so much impact on the events like birthdays, and not just birthdays, but also the other events like wedding ceremonies. People are not allowed to gather. Like my cousin is having a wedding in February, but they are asking, like they are not allowing too many people to gather around, so it's gonna be a boring event.
Mm-hmm. What do you think they could do to make it a bit more exciting if there's only a small number?
If people could follow the SOPs and precautions, like wearing the mask in the events, I know it would look really hideous on the birthday parties that people wear fancy clothes, more expensive jewelry to show off and to look in the picture. Wearing mask ruined everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
think if they focus on the precautions, then coronavirus can't have that much impact on the
Mm-hmm.
event.
Yeah. In your country, do people spend a lot of money on birthday celebrations?
In my country, people do actually
Mm-hmm.
the celebration like birthdays because they believe that's important to show off and show people how wealthy
Mm-hmm.
we are.
Okay. Okay, Absar. So thanks for coming along. Internet connection's a little bit bad. It's very difficult to understand because it keeps dropping out. But from what I did get, okay, good. You've got your fluency there is quite good. You're showing a willingness to talk and keep going. It's difficult to say because it's quite difficult to hear you at points. You said SOP. What is an SOP?
SOP is probably of people here in the news. They are like people should
Be really
like
careful
if
using these abbreviations. Be really careful using these abbreviations
please
because yeah,
like
SOP, what
with the
does it
coronavirus. Like,
mean?
oh, okay.
What does it mean? I can't hear you at all, I'm afraid. SOP means standard operating procedure. Yeah, it is. you
Okay.
you know try to avoid using abbreviations if you don't know what they stand for. Okay, because
Oh,
you need to show vocabulary, and giving a list of abbreviations isn't going to do that. So although talking about why some people don't like celebrating birthdays, or talking about some people think it's childish. When they're more mature, they think that they shouldn't, but Absar believes it's very important. Good. And also talking a bit about coronavirus, you notice when he asked about that, your examiner, or when he said about the coronavirus in your part 3, the examiner will probably pick up and ask you a few more questions about the pandemic. If you are comfortable talking about the pandemic, mention it. It could open up some quite good vocabulary. Okay, well done, Absar. Shame about the connection. Right, next up, we have part 3 about growing older. Let's have Thilen doing this one. Christine has joined us right at the end here, so we will give her a chance to do some part 3s as well. Okay, hi Thilen. Hello.
Hello, Luke.
Hi. Right, Thilen. So next in our part 3 themed around birthdays and age, we have this part 3 about growing older. Thilen, how do people's lives change as they grow older?
I guess people life changes according to their age. When the people grow up, there are like a lot of changes comes in their life. For example, when they are kid, they don't have so much responsibility uh, from home. They don't have any kind of responsibility for working or anything else. But as they grow up, they have to think about they have to think about a lot of things, just like their future career, they're working, and they have to think about making their future better. So with this, they have to go through a lot of struggle and a lot of challenges. So I guess
Okay.
growing older is not.
Okay. What are the different advantages and disadvantages of growing older?
Well, some of the advantages of growing older is like you will be independent from your parents, and you will have your own life. I mean, saying own life, I mean that you are not no more under control of your parents. You have your own way to go through your life. And so the disadvantages of growing older is like you have to face through a lot of challenges. Uh, you have to you have to go through a lot of challenges and a lot of problems in life.
Yeah. What kinds of challenges might people face as they grow older?
Like if they grow older, with the challenges means with the lot of tensions, and even as the health wise, uh, they will be grow older. Their immune system will not be as much strong as their young age. So they might they might get sick anytime when they get older, and there might be a lot of health problems which is related with the heart, brain, or anything. So these are the disadvantages, I guess.
Okay. In your country, is it considered acceptable to discuss somebody's age?
Oh yes, in our country, it's all right. It's acceptable to discuss about the age. Not like in like Western countries, even like 60 years old. It is my experience. There was an old man. I I was talking with an old man that was in my workplace, and I was talking with him, and he said, I asked his age and he asked mine, and I said, oh, you are old. And he was like, he just made up his face, and I'm not old. How would I be get old? I'm just 60 years old. But in our back home, in our country, it's totally different. If people get over 50 years old, then people will consider like he's elderly. He's considered elderly person. So, but a lot of cultural difference and cultural difference experiences.
Yeah. Okay, good, Dylan. Yeah, I bet he didn't like being called old. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't. Okay, yeah, so quite a big cultural difference there. Okay, good. A couple of points where the fluency drops. Yeah, so when you were talking about preparing for the future, I think it was, you were trying to talk about the future on the first question. There was quite a long pause there. Another one, when you were talking about challenges, another fairly long pause. So there are some quite long pauses here. Again, it's about familiarity with the topic. Back another fluency and coherence thing. There was an old man. I was talking with an old man at my workplace. Yeah. There was
Yeah.
an old man at my workplace and I was talking to him about his age. Okay.
Yeah.
So try and avoid that repetition there. The immune system is not as much strong. Not as much strong.
The
Not
immune system is not strong.
okay. Brilliant. So another over inclusion of much there. So just be careful. It seems to be a mistake you made a few times. Yeah. Okay. And then you were talking about health issues. Such a brilliant topic. You were talking about issues with the heart and brain. From yesterday, brain disease that affects old people.
Dementia.
There we go. So get that kind of vocabulary in there. Yeah.
Yes.
As an
Yeah.
example. To try and find a few other diseases, progressive diseases that affect people as they grow older. It's going to be really, really useful for a range of topics. Okay.
Okay, Luke. Thank you so much.
All right. Good. Well done, Thilan. Wonderful.
Thank you.
And quite a funny story. Quite a funny. I've removed the wrong person from the stream. Quite a funny story at the end there about his colleague showing us some of these cultural differences. Good. So next up, we have a wonderful set of questions about aging populations. These are the hardest questions in the set that we have today. So Tan Shulpan. Hi, Tan Shulpan.
Hi, Luke.
Hi.
I'm
Aging
sorry,
populations.
The voice is actually breaking. Can you hear me well?
Mine? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you, but it's a breaking. Okay, never mind. So let's carry on.
Okay. Do you know much about aging populations, Tan Shulpan?
Yes, I'm okay with it.
Okay, good. Let's see what you have to say then. Let's talk about aging populations. What are the benefits of having more old people in society?
Well, there are a couple of benefits of old people in the society. First of all, old people are wiser, and their wisdom could help the youth. Secondly, they could take care of grandchildren of their. They could take care of their grandchildren and impact their education. And also, overall, old people could share their knowledge and experience with the younger population.
And what benefits does that have, for example, in the workforce?
In terms of workforce, there will be a very few or none of the benefits from the old people, but there will be, I would say, in terms of socially or social wise, if you look at the social aspect, yes, there will be benefits, but not in terms of the workforce.
Why not in terms of the workforce?
Because they are incapable of performing their duties. I don't think that many of the elderly would be able to do any job unless it's a volunteering or taking up a part-time jobs which their health will allow them to do.
Mm-hmm. As the populations in some countries become older, can it cause any problems?
Yes, most of the first world countries are facing this issue with the aging population. First of all, it will directly impact the economy of the country, since there will be less taxpayers, and also the birth rates will be also very low, since the elderly people, aging population will not be able to produce new population. And besides that, there would be a social issue, maybe being a burden to the kids or as well as to the government.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think the average age of the population is growing in many countries?
The first reason could be the birth rate. many people are not planning, or they are not intending to have children. That could be the first, because of the drop of the birth rate, the population is aging, and also this could be also the impact of the high cost of living, that population is choosing not to have children, or couples are preferring to be a child free.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay. Good. Yeah, so some quite difficult questions there. You handled them really well. A couple of things. Old people in the society.
in a society.
In society. Know the.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, overuse of articles. Other than that, yes. So you've got some really nice vocabulary there, talking about birth rates, the first world. It's a social issue. There was a bit of a stumble towards the end there, as you were starting to discuss these social issues. I think it was there was quite a long pause,
Yeah.
talking about people being a burden on their families, on the government. So yeah, a nice range of vocabulary. Definitely good for the topic. So well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also talking about old people volunteering, and this may be an unusual topic for some people. Tomorrow we're going to look at it in a bit more depth. So
Okay.
thanks a lot for taking part, Tanshulpan. Finally,
You're
we're going
welcome.
to, okay, thank you. And finally, we are going to hear a bit from Christine. Hi, Christine. Hello. You might want to unmute. You might want to unmute yourself, Christine. Can't hear you. Somebody asking if this is an Android application. No, it's a browser application, so it runs on the browser. For example, Safari, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, you will be able to use it. So unfortunately, Christine has disconnected, so we're not going to be able to hear from her. That's all we've got time for today. We will be running a couple more sessions. We have a reading session on this topic tomorrow, talking about old people, and we also have a writing session. Oh, Christine is back. Let's see if we get her. Hi, Christine.
Hi. Oh, these are hard questions.
Oh dear, they are hard questions. Okay. Are you
Okay,
comfortable to try them?
Yeah, sure. I'll try, but I won't be able to give good answers.
I don't believe you. Okay. Right. They are quite difficult questions, and
Like,
you
they're really
haven't had.
hard.
They are quite hard. You haven't had the warm up that other people have had as well.
Yeah. And I'm late because I didn't know that there's like an early one. Like, I was
Yeah.
I was getting ready for the next hour.
Okay, absolutely fine, no problem. It's a pleasure to have you and Absar, Tanshulpan, and Thilan, everybody who has joined us, and Sammy managed to make it as well. So brilliant! Thanks to all of our speakers. Let's just give you a couple of minutes, Christine, before we finish. Let's talk about aging populations. What are the benefits of having more old people in society?
From what I've heard just like a while ago from the other speaker, the benefits of having more old people in society are that like there are more people like who have experience all throughout their lives, and they would be able to share all these knowledge toward us. I feel like a lot of the innovations are actually coming from older people compared to like younger people. So there are more people who have gone through like all the challenges all throughout their life, so they know which issues that they should focus on.
Are there any disadvantages of having an aging population?
The disadvantages that I could think of are maybe they're not really that helpful towards working society, with the workforce. It's because like they're not physically able, although they're extremely helpful when it comes to maybe like in the mental aspects, because or like cognitive aspect rather, because again, like they are able to they are able to share their knowledge, but like physically they're not really able. Sometimes there is also a disadvantage when it comes to social, because a lot of the older people tend to be extremely conservative, and they are not quite, they don't welcome, they're not very welcoming society.
Okay, fine. So what role do older people play in childcare?
Oh, right. So it is also, that's such a good point. So a lot of people, like the working adults, are not able to stay at home because they're there to work, and then these older people, like the late adulthood, I guess, are able to help us in terms of taking care of the kids at home, or they're there for not really entertainment, but for me, my grandmother was there a lot with me when I was a kid, and she's there to take care.
Okay. Really quick summary, Christine. 2 or 3 sentences. Why do you think the average age of the population is growing in many countries?
I think that there are lots of older people in growing countries because they have better access to healthcare, I think. Also, the reason why there are a lot of older people is because they're enjoying the benefits of a developing nation, whereas like in developed nations there are poor healthcare facilities, or there's like more pollution. That's for me.
Okay, good. At the end there, develops and developing.
I mentioned the first for developing nations and developed. I compared them.
Yeah, so you talked about developing nations which have advanced healthcare, and developed nations where there's lots of pollution and not much healthcare.
Yeah.
Is that the right way around?
Yes, that's what I meant. Did I say it wrong?
Okay, I think it might have been the wrong way around. I think you meant developed countries have advanced healthcare.
Oh, right. Sorry, I just realized. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. Okay. Just pick you off on that. Okay, good. Sorry, my pen has completely died, so I'm just sort of scratching this into some paper. You did have a grammatical slip, but I can't for the life of me read what it was. Yeah, unfortunately, my paper seems to have fixed itself, and this is what I'm trying to read.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, I'll to the recording.
Listen back. There were a couple of grammatical slips. I believe they were with prepositions, which is one of the issues that you have. But otherwise, it was good. Fluency dropping a bit as well there with the slightly more difficult questions. Okay. But don't worry, as you practice and we're going to talk about all of this stuff on Sunday. And after that, I'm sure you do have lots to say. So it's just organizing your thoughts. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any idea about this question. I just listened to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Without the warm up, without listening to other people so much, it is a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all we've got time for today, but thank you so much, Tanshulpan, Absar, Christine, and Sami, and Thilan. So we've had quite a few people coming along in the end. Thank you to all of our speakers. We do have a reading session on Saturday. That will be at 1 p.m. UK time. And we have a writing session on Sunday, also at 1 p.m. UK time. Ijlal, I believe that Mohammed Ijlal, try and come along a bit earlier to participate in the session because we are out of time for today. But next time, definitely do come along. I will make down a note, and people coming to these live sessions, everybody will get a chance to speak. Just make sure you're joining at the beginning rather than the end. Okay, thanks a lot to everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.